Hello and welcome. This is the Money Charts channel, and it is a little after 1400 hours, almost 1500 or 2:45 p.m. Eastern Time. I'd like to welcome you to the channel. My name is Derek. All bets trades of the like within one's own risk reward, and today is a very interesting day, sparking a lot of short-term volatility and indecision at this current moment. Price action left the 18 average of lows a couple days ago and has broke below the key level support yesterday, as I was mentioning. Not liking the odds that it would be such, but this is very much just a small leg lower from this point. And therefore, it's rallied a little bit, but it doesn't look nothing too fantastic yet. I mean, the 18 average of lows is at 3,741. So just like I was saying, it's hard to trust this rally. It's still going to be so along the way, but it's well below the 18. It's had this move. It could very easily have decent gains and still not break the downtrend line that connects all of the highs that was within the 18 average correction. We look at this on a shorter term time frame starting within the single hour. What I see is that of a failed move one way or another. For originally, there was key support at around the low $3,300 range on Bitcoin, and it broke down below that level. Had a couple periods going sideways, digesting its move, and then after such, it had a huge play higher. So on a failed move lower, what I'm looking for, breaks a key level of support, check mark. Decent leg size or lower. Yep, make a little U-shaped formation most of the times, or a box here. Yes. Come back quickly to your previous congestion area. That would be around 33, 37 area. Yes. And then usually quickly thereafter that, not that long though, it's going to get above that level with a significant break. Check mark, and it did it within the single period on the hourly time frame. So therefore, now it's important to hold two key areas. One is this line, which is the previous level of support. It's doing a fantastic job of such on the short term. We'll get to that in a second. But it can even come down even a little bit further, down about the low 3,300 level that was support in here. That would be enough to create the inverted head and shoulders right shoulder pattern on it. And then the 18 average, that would be where the lows for that would be as well. So that's really the must hold area. If you see weakness on the low 33, if you see price action even below it, pretty much for me, that's enough to trigger to me that, yep, we're probably going to go to 3. That would be another 10% reduction. And that's a conservative price objective at 3, 29, 28, 27, and even a little bit deeper, as I was mentioning before in the longer term, is the 38.2% Fibonacci. But roughly 29, 28 would be my best guess. If you're to do like a Price is Right type of guess to see who's the closest, I would go about 28.17. That would be my guess. And that's all it is, because for me as a trader, market's going to do what it's going to do. If it doesn't go down there, and the price never does see 3,000 and my TUSD remains, and the value of its fund goes down 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90%, that's magnificent, because obviously my portfolio would be doing haywire's amazing gains with what the bullish side that I have, and then the trades that I make everywhere else would just be fantastic. If it does go down there, well, then I'll get some extra Bitcoin to play with, and well, my hedge position would be completed. That's what the difference of the two mean for me. So hourly time frame, we can see had the gain. 15-minute time frame has had 2 periods since this play, getting above it. We can see just within this 1400 hour around 2 p.m. that when it got above it, we knew that within this period it came back, because it closed barely below this line. And then on this period, it had a good gain, and then it came back at least as close to this line, but not below it. But the next period, or the last one, it did. And now it's gotten rallied back up, consolidating its move. 5-minute time frame. This is how well this previous level of resistance has held thus far as support. The rising 18 on this time frame is rising. It's just like empty space. If this level fails, you're going to probably at least come down to 3360, 3330-ish ballpark area. And then within the 1 minute time frame, so far very, very short term, really just congesting its gains really, really nicely. I'm going to quickly go over Ethereum as well because it's having an interesting morning. And within its current 1 minute time frame, pretty much the same thing as Bitcoin. 5 minutes, okay, nice little gain that happened at 2 o'clock. Yeah, check mark. 1 hour, having this sideways consolidation, breaking out very, very nicely. But on the daily term time frame, we can see how this has been beaten down quite decently. And I have to think that this thing, if it gets going, and we have when the bottom happens. Now let me stop that and re-say it again. When the bottom does happen, whether it be now, whether it be when the price goes down to near 3,000, a little bit or below, or wherever it is, 2,400, when the rallies occur from that point, there is going to be some decent sized moves because the story of the market has changed. Just like throughout all of the last few months before this Bitcoin fall below 6,000, everything was just boringly going sideways and not doing much. Then this happened, things are changing, and then you have a bottom and the market's going up, things change again. And that's when I think would make a lot of sense that we'd have some decent moves. Now notice the time it took to get from point high to point low, and even for that matter from point high to point low here. But really, for the most part, I want to talk about from this high. This was May. The middle of May, we're close to the middle of December. That's 7 months. So one of the things I usually say a lot, or a couple things. One, markets go up a lot faster than they go down. So if it takes 7 months to go down, it's going to take maybe 2 months or less, 6 weeks or so to get back when it's ready to do so. And one of the things I say, when markets are ready to go, they go. For this is an example right in here. Here was a spot where the market here fell from June all the way down to December. So that was close to about a half a year. And really from this point here, which was July, because what I like to do in comparing how long it takes from point A to point B is I'll match this 122 level, which would have last seen it roughly at around like the end of June to the end of November. So almost a half a year, 5 months, and then of course the rally comes into place in 2 months. And then the size of these moves. Here's a spot where, when I say this isn't just for Ethereum where I can expect these types of moves, but for a lot of the coins. And in fact, Ethereum being as high as it is on the market cap has a lot lower volatility than some of the other coins that are just so wild with their 7, 20, 40, and over 100x moves. So the low here is 553 back then, and the high was 825. So in 4 days, it managed to make like a 40% move. Now a 40% move would bring it up to about the 40 number. And that's decently high, considering where the market stands right now. So it's mathematically possible for me to be doing a video 7 days from now and talking about an Ethereum price at 0.039, although obviously very unlikely for such an event to occur. Alright, not much going on here in the weekly. Obviously the volatility is low, but look at the size of these periods here. Downtrend, decent sized move. That's the story of the market. What did the story change to following September 10th? Well, sideways consolidation. And having lower volatility amongst sideways consolidation is usually the name of the game. Only one of two things can happen after a sideways move. It's either got to go up or it's got to go down. And either way, I think there's going to be decent sized green or red candles, sort of like in here where you go from 55 to 86 just so fast, well below the 18 lows. A couple periods later, you get above the low. Next period, you stay within it. Next period after that, you get above it. And the next period after that, you hold above it. 5 in a row. 6 up months or weeks in a row at that point. At any given time, that can happen because you can say, man, that looks so bearish. Well, back in here, people might have been saying the same thing as well. Thank you for tuning in. I got nothing really more to say. I'll probably do another video later. And have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.